Breaking news. According to the UK, Putin has suffered his largest loss of life since the Battle of Bakhmut. British officials said on Sunday that Russia has suffered its worst losses since March's fiercest fighting over Bakhmut. According to the British Armed Forces, casualties are high on both sides as Ukraine attempts to drive Russian troops out of occupied territory. According to British intelligence, the bloodiest battles have been fought in the eastern Ukrainian province of Donetsk and in the southeastern Ukrainian province of Zaporizhia, specifically around the city of Bakhmut. The update stated that Ukrainian forces were on the offensive in these regions and had made small advances, while Russian forces were engaged in relatively effective defensive operations in the south of Ukraine. According to a military update published by the Ukrainian government on Sunday morning, Russia had launched 43 airstrikes, 4 missiles, and 51 MLRS attacks in the previous 24 hours. Russian forces have engaged in 26 separate combat clashes in and around Bakhmut, Avdiivka, Marinka, and Lyman in Donetsk province, as detailed in a statement released by the General Staff. According to exclusive drone photos and information obtained by the Associated Press, Russia had the ability, motivation, and window of opportunity to cause the collapse of a Ukrainian dam earlier this month while the dam was under Russian control. Russian troops were stationed in a key area inside the dam where the Ukrainians say the explosion that destroyed it was centered, according to two officials, and images taken from above the Kakhovka Dam and shared with the AP appear to show an explosive-laden car atop the structure. A message left with the Russian Ministry of Defense went unanswered at first. Devastating floods, the loss of crops in the world's breadbasket, the contamination of drinking water for thousands, and the release of a devastating environmental catastrophe all resulted from the dam's collapse. According to Ukrainian commanders, it also thwarted some of their efforts to counterattack Russian positions. Putin displays the draft peace agreement he says he and Ukraine have already reached, but which the Ukrainians refused to sign. An updated video has surfaced of Vladimir Putin presenting a draft peace agreement with Ukraine to African leaders. The Russian president stated that the agreement was thrown into the rubbish heap of history because Ukraine refused to sign it. The Ukrainian negotiator in charge of this document has signed it. He signed his name there. He then proclaimed, "There it is," while holding up the paper, asking, "Where are the guarantees that they will not renounce any other agreements in the future?" There has been no word from Kyiv regarding the video. After hosting an African peace mission on Saturday that failed to excite either Moscow or Kyiv, Russia reported fierce fighting on 3 sections of the front line in Ukraine on Sunday. An official installed by the Russians claimed that Ukrainian forces had retaken the village of Piaty-Katki in the southern Zaporizhia region and were currently entrenching there despite coming under fire from Russian artillery. The official, Vladimir Rogev, made the statement on the Telegram messaging app, saying, "The enemy's wave-like offensives yielded results, despite enormous losses." Russia's defense ministry reported that Russian forces had repelled Ukrainian attacks along 3 segments of the 1,000 km (600 mi) front line, but made no mention of Piaty-Katki. Separately, the Russian Vostok forces said in a statement that Ukraine had not managed to capture the settlement. There was no way to confirm the claims independently.